what's going to happen in this particular workshop is this. First of all, I brought with me several individuals that, as Sharon mentioned, have lived, you know, these same type of lifestyles. You know, they're doing big things now. You know, you get a chance to, you know, meet them and hear, you know, some of their views and opinions. What I've done is this. When I was asked to do this workshop, and I took a look at the question, disengagement for youth, then I began to say, okay, well, let's put a framework together, you know, and let me put some questions together for my panel. And the questions will begin to help build a framework why we chose some of the choices that we made, where they led us, turning points, and on where we are now, and what some of the strategies that we use. You know, what our outreach in those systems, and on. So that's kind of like the framework. So what will happen is I'll begin to ask them questions for about maybe 30-ish minutes. But then also toward the last 20 minutes, I'm really interested to have you interview us. Your questions on whatever issues. As they say on the streets, we're going to keep it 100. Have you ever heard that? Raise your hand. All right, that's a little street credit. I'm kind of raising the street IQ just a little bit. We're going to call it keeping it 100. In case you don't know, let me fill in the gap for you. Keep it 100 means we ain't going to fake it, we ain't going to front. We're going to keep it real. See, we're going to keep it 100. So that's where we at with that. And first of all, what I want to do is I want to have my panel introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about who they are and what they're doing today. So I want to first start with that, so you can see that, you know, okay, in the midst of everything, you know, there's hope. And not only is there hope, but we almost have to always believe that in the process of everything, that hope and possibilities, and that's what we represent. We represent hope. So I want to first start with the gentleman to my immediate right. Of course, I know these gentlemen, but I have him introduce himself and tell you briefly a little bit about himself.
I guess I stand when I talk. Good morning, everybody. My name is Stanley Cole. I'm the Executive Director of Urban Technology. I'm also a consultant for Milwaukee Public Schools. I run a reentry program, and I do a few other things to try to help out the community. Use the microphone. This one? Or this one here?
No.
I don't think this was to the speaker. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? I knew this wasn't. So again, I'm sorry if you guys didn't hear me. Good morning. My name is Stan Cole. I'm the Executive Director of Milwaukee Urban Technology Center. I'm also Director of a reentry program that's connected to helping out Hamilton, MPS. I'm doing a lot of things I can to help out the community. I can tell you a little bit more about my background later. I just want to get through the intro.
My name is Torrey Johnson. I'm a youth mentor coordinator and a community liaison for the Wisconsin Community Service.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mariano Quiles. I am currently a truck driver back in the field, making better money than what I was. I do various volunteer work for various organizations.
Okay. You guys keep the mic. I'll just talk a little louder. Okay. Now what I've done is prepared these questions. First question is this. Because I keep hearing that word thrown around so much. Gang member. Gang member, gang member, gang member. Okay, so now here's my question. When you think of a gang member, what comes to mind, or what are some of your thoughts?
Personally, I think a gang member is a person who's recognized to belong to another entity while also displaying criminal behavior and intimidation to the community or their environment.
Okay.
A gang member to me is one or two people, I guess. Gang member to me is me and all my brothers when we walk out the door. You know, cause today is a whole lot of, to me, it's like it's a different forms of gang members, so I think it's like a clique. You got a clique. You can have 2 people that's in the gang now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Some people think that, to me, I grew up where 1st Street was a gang, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, Buffalo boys, Humboldt boys, Hillside boys, Lawton boys. So then, when it got to like Milwaukee started embracing the Chicago thing, then it'd be like, oh, if you ain't no GD, you ain't in the gang. You know, but, you know what I'm saying? But I recognize like the Milwaukee boys. So the gang to me is whoever called themselves a gang. If you say I'm a gang member, then you're a gang member. But you know, I don't accept like where I work at when somebody just come here and tell me I'm the Flash Street Boys. I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But to me, a gang is who, if you decide that me and him decide that we gonna be the 10-5 boys, then we a part of a gang, and we don't care if you don't recognize it. That's the gang we in.
Right, I'm in agreement. I would think it's a group of people that get together and who organize themselves under a representation, either of a symbol or a creed.
Okay. I remember once one of my employers, they wanted to fire me, and they said, well, we fired him because he is a gang member. And I was like, wait a minute, when I first started, I told you I was, you know, gang affiliated, dope dealer. You knew that from the beginning. So the judge asked a question. When he looked at me, I had my suit on, and he looked at me, he looked at them, he said, well, what does the gang member look like? And it was kind of funny, you know, how the judge was able to ask that question. So now here's my question to the panel. What does a gang member look like?
I actually had a sit down with Lawton the other evening, and we talked about this very subject, not on purpose, but by accident. And I was telling him, I said, late at night, sometimes, whether it be on the south side or north side, you know, because nowadays the gangs are so diverse and complex. Late at night, when it's dark outside, you can see somebody walking from the back. You can only see their back. Pants sagging, long sleeves, hat broke either left to the right, you know, maybe certain colors or not. But when, you know, right away you assume, depending upon what side of town you're on, whether it be the north side, the east side, or south side. South side, you're going to assume it's a Mexican. North side, you're going to think it's African American. East side, you might think it's Puerto Rican. But then when you get in front of that person, it's a young Caucasian man. Mm-hmm. And so there's really, to me, I've seen gangbangers that dress like me. I've seen gangbangers dressed with jeans and polos. You know, it's very, nowadays it's become very complex.
Well, to me, I don't know how a gang member dress or look like, because they come in all form. Now, most gang bangers, you know what I'm saying, you could tell a gang banger because he gonna want you to know that he a gang banger. But a gang member, he could come in any form, any shape, any size, because he's just a gang member, you know. It's almost like when Al Capone them said, what's the mafia, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I guess they all said he was in the mafia, but they say, but a gang banger is gonna really let you know that he banging, because there ain't no sense of being a gang banger if you don't know I'm banging. The banging is like when you had your hat broke, your pants sagging, you know, you banging. So that's how I know. And you know, because I wear Dickies, you know, and people be like, oh, you dress like a gang banger. I said, well, the Dickies came out probably before, you know, around the time. The bangers wear the Dickies don't wear the bangers. So I wear whatever I can to jump up under my car. They be clean when I first get them. Then if my car break down, I ain't got to have no suit on. I'm jumping up under my car, and they was meant to be worked on. So that's how I dress. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of people be like, come on, man, you're gang banging again. I be like, gang banging again? You know what I'm saying? Because I got a cousin that's a gang member that wears suits every day. You know what I'm saying? But he a gang member, and he on a level that ain't where you wear tennis shoes, because he got more, you know what I'm saying, his shoes cost more than what an average tennis shoes. They cost more than $200. So then you wouldn't be able to tell if he sat here and talked, because he a professional person, but he a gang member. And when he talk, and then when you talk about gang banging or gang members, you be like, wow, you know, you too old to be a gang member. But you know, if you think about the people that they put up there, they old too.
I'm in agreement with Tori, but also I just say most gang members are like everyday people. You know, I know some Simon City Royals that come in here and look like police officers. Bottom line. But in accordance to like a fashion statement, like before, you know, everybody seen gangbangers as sagging, but now they got skinny jeans. So that's been a change. You got guys with pistols and skinny jeans, and you can see the pistol and they skinny jeans. So, you know, so you know, it's a lot about dressing and fashion changes. You know, none of us, nobody know it all. You know, nobody know it all. I don't care who. So nobody know it all. But you know, right now we still concerned about sagging. I think we should really let the energy go and point that somewhere else, because the skinny jeans is coming and we can relax, y'all. You know.
Okay. All right. Now, here's a definition of gang that you're not gonna see. You know, I was here yesterday. They didn't have that definition. A gang is a group of individuals, kind of like what Tori said, a group of individuals band together for mutual protection or profit. So when you look at that particular phrase and definition, you realize that could fit a lot of different entities. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there, but if you just look at it from that definition, a group of individuals who band together, you know, so a lot of different organizations, groups could fit into that view. All right, here's my next question. Do you have a problem with the term gang member? And I'm gonna answer that first. Here's one issue I have with just, per se, the gang member term by itself. Because it reminds me of, well, it's almost like saying a leper. A gang member, you're a leper. You're basically a derelict. You're basically an imbecile. You're basically, you know, we have really dehumanized you. You're really not a person. You're really not a person. You're this individual. You're like a terrorist. You're like this individual who has to be eradicated. You have to be destroyed. You really have no substance and no value outside of that. So that's one of the problems I have with the term per se as a whole. You know, I understand it has a place. Just like what the gentleman said, right, individuals who right, they ain't banging, whatever. That's true. But that's one aspect of that particular word that I realize is also synonymous with that, because it kind of also establishes kind of like a profile, and that doesn't leave any room for hope. That doesn't leave any room for possibilities. That's one of my issues. Same question, gentlemen. Do you have a problem with the term gang member?
No, I ain't got no problem with it.
Right.
Because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's, I'm gonna keep it, like you said, keep it 100.
Yeah.
If I'm a gang member, then call me what I am. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you call me you're a positive student, I'll be like, no, I'm a gang member. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I'm a gang member, I ain't gonna want you to call me nothing else but what I am. Now, if I'm folks and you call me people, I might have to correct you on that one.
Right.
But if I'm a gang member, you know, just calling me a gang member don't mean nothing.
Right.
I'm not offended by any means. I mean, sometimes because I still have tattoos that represent my past, my history, you know, my background. It doesn't really. I don't take offense to it. I mean, I'm proud of who I am, regardless. And just like Tori said, I don't think that gang members would find it offensive, because you know you are what you are. You know, I mean, when I was banging, I was like the brother said, I made sure people knew I was banging. Mm-hmm. So it's different now.
No, I don't have a problem with the word gang member. Right now, really, I look at, a lot of times I see it two ways. Yeah, it has a negative connotation to it, but also I look at it now as business. It's big business. Look at this room. Look at this room. Mm-hmm. Gang, it's big business, mm-hmm. and it's beyond just this room. I'll give you an example. A lot of people say, there's no such thing as a successful gang member. Hell, I seen Snoop playing golf with Leon Coca with some red blue flag shoes on. They playing golf. So, you know, you look at people like Snoop and a lot of people, they take that gang lifestyle, they market it, and they make it a business for themselves. Mm-hmm. You got certain rap artists who's never been involved in gangs in their life, but they latch on to the word gang just to make money from it. That's right. Bottom line. So you can look at look at it from all different perspectives, but that's just one perspective I look at it from. It's big business. Lil Wayne never was blood until he seen a profit in it, you know. So once he seen the profit in it, he became a blood, you know. So that's just another perspective.
Right. And that's what this all about. It's just about perspective, you know, to show how, you know, we all view have different opinions about the same particular issue.